Obviously a free weekend there, how do you spend your time?
Just chilled, home with family and stuff, recovered and made sure I'm ready for this week at training, get going.
I suppose when you're on a kind of streak that we're on, you're wanting to get the next game as quickly as possible, so is it frustrating to have to miss a week?
Yeah, it's frustrating, you always want to play as a footballer, especially in the position that we're in. We'll just want to get back to winning ways as soon as possible, but fortunately game was cancelled, so just need to recover and go again.
The conditions just made it a sort of impossibility, which means that we've kind of had to bite our tongue since the Dunfermline game and wait for the match to come back. I imagine you were particularly frustrated with the Dunfermline match and how it finished.
Yeah, definitely. We could have done better, but it was a few refereeing decisions there. I thought for their goal, obviously Rico was fouled and I could have had a penalty. I definitely should have had one, but that's the way football goes, isn't it? You just got to go again. When
things like that happen, is it difficult not to get frustrated? It must have been difficult talking to the referee and wondering how, what would have had to have been done to you for that to have been given as a penalty kick.
Yeah, it's difficult, but that's part and parcel of the game, innit? Bad decisions and not going your way, but you've got to stay strong mentally as a team and individually, and decisions will go away sooner rather than later, I hope.
The manager talked to us last week about how we need to make our own luck and how things like that can happen, but if we're in control of certain things and do better with the ball, then we'll not need to worry about refereeing decisions and wee breaks of the ball. Is it focus on making sure that we do that going forward?
No, absolutely. We've got to be at the best of our ability at all times and make sure we're doing what we can do, but so obviously there'll be some times where our stuff isn't going our way, but we've just got to stay strong and just make sure we're doing the basics good and build our confidence back in, and no doubt we'll be flying again soon.
Dundee North End in the Scottish Cup, you looking forward to the game?
No, really looking forward to it. It's a good chance for us to go back to winning ways. We know it'll be a difficult game, but it's a chance. The cup games are always exciting, but good chance for us anyway to go and show what we can do.
They're a team in good form, and I'm sure they'll have their eyes set on causing what would be a significant upset. There's always seems to be one in the cup, so important we make sure it's not us.
Yeah, definitely. I know they'll be up for it. It's a big game for them playing against a championship side, so they'll be up for it. But we're just as motivated. We need to get back to winning ways, so it's a good chance to go and do that.
An opportunity as well to play a team just that wee bit refreshing. Obviously, in the midst of a league campaign, you play the same opponents regularly, so a chance for a bit of change of scenery, something different.
Yeah, definitely. It's always good. But as I say, it's the most important thing for us is to go out and get back to winning ways. So that's what we're focused on doing.
And there clearly seems to be a lot of intent out there at the training pitch to make sure that we're not just going into this to enjoy a change of surroundings. We're going in to get a victory, get ourselves going again, and maybe kick-start the season.
Yeah, and maybe that's what we need. Just a wee change of scenery, like you're saying. Just cup game, go up there. It'll be hard, but go up there, hard fought win, get the win, and take that into the league campaign as well, hopefully.
I suppose we've got to expect that as an opponent they're going to be right up for it, but they've got a really good winning run behind them as well, so they'll play some good football. We've got to expect that, yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely, but they'll be motivated, we know that, but we'll be just as motivated. As I was saying, we just need to get winning and get back on track.
How has the season been for you so far? Difficult at times, obviously, given some of the results, but are you enjoying it?
No, I'm really enjoying it. It's kind of my first season of professional men's football, so I'm enjoying it. I'm getting plenty of opportunity, which is good for me personally, but obviously as a team you want to win games and stuff, but individually it's been good for me and I'm enjoying it, really enjoying it.
Having the break from the league and going into the cup competition, is that refreshing? Does that give us a chance to just reset with just being, it's not a league game, points aren't up for grabs, but a place in the next round very much is? Maybe,
yeah. League game, cup game, our focus is always to go and win games, and it's a good opportunity again for us, so yeah.
The match being on a Sunday was just a wee bit unusual, just one of the kind of quirks of the competition and the facilities. Is that something that messes up the training week, or is it much of a muchness for you?
Nah, I wouldn't say so. We'll have a day off Wednesday, Thursday, back in Friday, Saturday, so it's just kind of changing the schedule around a wee bit, but it shouldn't be much of an issue at all. Still training Saturday, getting match day -1 and the game on a Sunday, so it's not an issue.
And hopefully this time, if you do get taken out in the box, the referee's looking the right way.
I hope so, aye, definitely.
Cammy, thank you very much for your time. We'll speak to you on Sunday.
Cheers, thank you.
Rhys, no game to look back on Saturday, so enjoy your weekend.
Aye, 5th birthday party with the kids, so brilliant, great laugh.
I suppose there's not really much we can do about the conditions. It's just one of those things that happens this time of year. Rarely out on that surface or in this stadium, given the pitch, but just one of those things, nothing we can do about it.
Aye, no, listen, like you said, I'd actually had come into the stadium anyway. We ran a little bit earlier, and to get the pitch that clear, the pitch was fine, the pitch was playable. It's obviously the safety, the roads and the kind of surrounding areas, which coming from Livingston on the motorway, luckily I just missed it. I think the motorway was shut from Edinburgh going through, and there was a couple of lorry crashes and stuff as well with obviously the bad weather. So one of these things that's unfortunate, but we'll get it rescheduled for as soon as possible and get out of the way.
The Cup then is, I don't want to say a kind of refuge from a kind of difficult spot in the league, but does it give us that maybe chance for a wee bit of freshness, something different? We're talking to Cammy Cooper about being a change of scenery, an opponent we don't play 4 times a season. Does that give us something a bit fresh about it?
Possibly, yeah. But again, it's a different competition. It's a chance to get through, and one that you've got to take kind of very, very seriously. Although you're kind of strong favourites, being the bigger side, and ultimately it'll be their cup final. So you've got to make sure that you approach the game like you were playing in your own division, like you're playing against the kind of teams that we're used to playing, and don't take your eye off the ball. We've got to make sure that we go, especially in kind of recent form and results, that we try and kind of go into the game with a positive kind of attitude and approach and mentality to the game, and ultimately get the win.
I suppose whilst there's obviously a big gap between where the two teams play, we don't want to find ourselves on the end of a big upset. We don't want to be knocked out of a cup earlier than we planned, like with the SPFL Trust Trophy this season. So imperative that we go out there and make sure we're in the hat next round.
Aye, that's the focus, and to be fair, even with the game being called off, training the last 2 weeks has been excellent, standard intensity, a real demand. So I was really looking forward to the Livingston game. The boys have just continued where they left off, and session finished today. It was excellent. So as you said, I kind of highlighted that the SPFL Trust Trophy with East Kilbride, and I said that's a tricky banana skin. You want to be one of the ones out of the cup shocks, as they always say, that it's not you. And listen, we're under no illusion that it's their cup final. We're going away to their ground, and obviously pitch conditions, all this kind of thing will play a factor. We've got to make sure that we have no excuses. We approach the game with the right mindset. We show our level of professionalism, but that same kind of sense, we've got to make sure that we go there and we're very ruthless. It's not going up there and trying to feel sorry and whatnot. We go out there with a mentality that it's a cup final, and we go and get the job done.
They'll obviously, as you say, be bang up for it, and they've got a really remarkable run of form coming into it. I think it's 14 wins out of 15. Regardless of the level, you would rather be going into a game with that run of form behind you than ours. So they'll look at us thinking if they can upset us, then we might be vulnerable. It's important that we make sure that doesn't happen. Aye,
of course, but again, I've been part of a team, and we've been part of teams where you're the so-called underdog and there's kind of less pressure. Luckily enough, we've been able to go and see them, so we know kind of a rough idea of how they play and in terms of their style and what they're about. And the big thing is for me and certainly my staff is that just because they're a few levels below us doesn't mean that they don't have good quality and they don't have kind of areas of the pitch and individuals that can hurt you. So we've got to make sure, like I said, kind of reiterating that message from kind of Monday, and it's got to be a case of we're going in kind of full guns blazing, let's go and get the result.
Kind of odd kick-off time and date, just the kind of way it's worked out. Does that affect your kind of training week, the schedule, or is it much of a muchness?
Listen, it shouldn't. I think it's always one that you maybe look for an excuse if you lose or if you get beat, and it actually gives you another day off. So probably gives you another day in the training pitch. Again, you just got to kind of tinker and tweak your day off and managing your load throughout the week, what sessions you do. But as I said, from the kind of the minute the Livingston game was called off, training all week leading up to the game was excellent. Seen a real improvement in the quality and intensity, and was really looking forward to that game. Game gets called off, unfortunately, and then the boys have kind of continued at the start of the week from where they left off and actually raised at a level. So really confident, really looking forward to going in and going and getting the job done.
The win's obviously the most important thing, but are you looking for a kind of performance level and a bit of oomph to the performance that we get from the players?
Aye, well, ultimately it's about getting into the next round, and of course in that I'd like to see elements of the performance improve. Certainly from kind of recent weeks, there'll always be a bit in the back of my mind where I'd like to see kind of intensity, quality in the final third, attacking sense. I'd like to see things improve a little bit, but at the same time I'd like to still be in the next round to do that. Let's say get a bit of confidence, getting individuals some minutes would be good as well. You know, we've had kind of a few injury setbacks and a couple of boys in the men that have kind of integrated into training and doing little bits and bobs, so seeing how they react through the week can be a big plus for us, gives us a much healthier kind of squad to go there. But listen, the message has been clear. You know me kind of long enough now that ultimately you've got to treat it as if this is your cup final as well, and the minute you drop your standards or your mentality and think that it's going to be a walk in the park, then that's when the exit comes.
The squad availability starting to get a wee bit better, light on the horizon?
Aye, no, definitely. It was good to see kind of good double figures this week in training, so pleasing in terms of being able to structure training. You're not kind of bandaging bodies and kind of going through training, what can we do with the availability and the bodies that we've got. So getting, like I said, I think there was a good kind of double figures, 15, 16 or whatever it was today, 15 involved in training. So good to structure training. It means then you can start to tinker with your tactics and your plan for obviously the Sunday game, and kind of ongoing. Real frustration probably the last few weeks is that because of the kind of juggling nature of personnel and people being injured and stuff, we've not had a consistent training week where you can really put an emphasis and work on certain individual things as well as team things. But then again, looking forward to the game, like you say, it's a bit of freshness, a bit of competition that we're kind of not used to playing in, but we've got a right good chance if we go and approach the game well, and like I said, if we can match and mirror all those things together, then I'll be happy.
Brilliant, Rhys, we'll see you on Sunday.
Cheers, thanks. See you later.
Thanks a lot.